YouTube, what's up? A lot of my followers or subscribers been asking me for an update, so finally here it is. All right. After my first video, if you watch my first video, after my first video, after the video got cut off somehow, quote unquote, somehow, basically they threw me in handcuffs. They illegally detained me, kept threatening me to take me to jail over obstruction for not giving my name and ID. Which in North Carolina, I'm in North Carolina by the way, in North Carolina, there are no state statutes that states that I have to give my ID upon request unless I'm operating a motor vehicle or unless I'm committing a crime. Now, my first video, when I asked the officers, am I committing a crime? You see, they all said no. So that's why I felt like that I didn't have to give my ID. Now, other people might say, oh, you trying to give them a hard time, this, that, and the third. No, I'm not trying to give them a hard time. It's just a simple fact. I'm trying to stand up for myself. And if I felt like I wasn't doing nothing wrong, and if they clearly stated that I wasn't doing nothing wrong, there's no reason my name should be in any type of report at all. That's how I feel. So, yeah, basically, they detained me for about a good 32 minutes, which I felt like that was kidnapping, the whole 9 yards and whatnot. They detained me for a whole 32 minutes, and eventually they released me and gave me my rifle back. So that's basically what happened after the first video. The second video, y'all pretty much seen everything that happened on the second video. It was a few words that I missed, recording at first, but try to get my camera on as quickly as possible so everything could be recorded. But other than that, second video, y'all pretty much seen everything. After the fact, well, not after the fact, probably like, a couple of days later or so. I don't know what was that, times in between, but a couple of days later, I was back on that property firing. Nobody had no problems. There was other people down there firing. They had shotguns, pistols, blase, blase, blase. I carry a limited rounds on me, so I leave, and as I'm on my way out, the sheriff pulled up, and they arrested me for trespassing because they said I didn't have permission to be on that property. Well, I had got permission from the property owner, but come to find out, that wasn't the true property owner. So, couldn't really say nothing about that. Other than that, there was no signs that were saying no trespassing or this, that, and the third. But, anyways. And then, after the fact, I found out they took out charges on me for going armed to terror of the public. Now, going armed to terror of the public, let me tell you about this charge. This charge is basically, it's just, excuse me. It's like a charge where you really have to be terrorizing the public. Like, hey, I'm walking down the street with my rifle in my hand, trying to scare people, pointing at people as they driving by, this, that, and the third. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up the law so I I'm pulled up so I can read it to you. Excuse me for coughing. All right. Going on to terror of the public. The elements are a person guilty of this offense. 1. Arms himself or herself with an unusual and dangerous weapon. Excuse me. Damn. 2, for the purpose of terrifying others, and goes about on public highways in a manner, quote, in a manner to cause terror of the public. Basically, it has to be some type of intent. Like I said, waving your firearm, carrying your firearm in a threatening manner, this, that, and the third, blase, blase, blase. Now, I'm not going to go to the whole, reading the whole court cases about this and whatnot, but as far as my knowledge, I'm not guilty of this charge because the court cases I read, people was actually like firing their weapons, riding down the street, firing their weapons into stores, into people's homes, and it was another one where some man was riding a horse through a courthouse. But I mean, you could really look it up and just read on it yourself. But it's called going armed to terror of the people. But other than that, yeah, they tried to charge me with that. So I'm basically fighting that right now. Me and my lawyer. Other than that, yeah, they got my rifle, unfortunately. But other than that, that's your update. And yeah, by the way, I really thank all my supporters, saying, hey, I never did nothing wrong, or, which I haven't. I really thank all my supporters, people that's standing up for the Second Amendment right. I'm continuing to exercise my rights until the day I die. Just like people say, it's a use 'em or lose 'em situation. Like, you either use your rights or you lose your rights. And I'm going to use my rights. I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I was doing everything by the law. And other than that, yeah. And for all the people that's saying the negative stuff, I would say some things, but I'm not going to say it on the internet. So, yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's my update.